Actually, that's 2 bills.
If you could, might as well go through this, that would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Back in 2009, we all heard pretty much the same news, very, very well, organized, come up with much of the same stories about how there's this terrible building problem in Massachusetts that really needed to be fixed. And in 2010, it was passed unanimously by the legislature, the bill that was the most powerful bill in the United States of America, according to the government. Now, a few things. Right away, the Gatewood said, well, we're going to fight for enumerated categories. And the same weekend that it was passed, the Boston Globe magazine had a big article from some experts saying that this stuff isn't going to work. Mainly because what really works in bullying wasn't used in crafting this argument. It was mostly, special interest groups. So now we are 3 years later, and we're being told the same story. It's not working, horrible things happening. Well, what's going on here? I think that before we rush into the same people saying, oh, well, we didn't do it because we didn't have this stuff. Massachusetts went through an emotional trauma over this. I think there needs to be a reason publicly why this isn't working, if it's not working. And a real study as to what needs to happen if it's not working, rather than just more of this same kind of testimony from special interest groups. Or else I think you're going to run into a lot of trouble with the public. I think the real problem is that it's a terrible, unworkable law that was pushed through in a climate of hysteria. But I think that that's what you have to do. You can't just add more stuff and say, oh, that's really what's going to happen. Secondly, I came to testify regarding a bill that we're supporting, H452, which is regarding surveys in public schools. And it sort of dovetails into this, because surveys like the Youth Risk Behavior Survey and the Listen Climate Survey are given to kids, and parents hate that. These are completely unscientific surveys, yet officials use them as if they were scientific. They're given to kids in schools and middle schools. Parents don't know what they are. They're not legitimate. They use extremely psychological, intrusive, and leading questions on kids. They'll, for instance, they'll ask medical students how many times they've had homosexual sex, or how many times they've done illegal acts, how many times they've taken drugs. I have some questions here from that which I will hand out to you, which you can read yourself. Parents hate this when they see it. And it's unscientific, especially with suicide. How many times have you thought about suicide over and over and over again? What does this do to a kid's psychology? The answers that you get from these surveys, from what we've talked to of experts, it's ridiculous. You can't use them. The special interest groups use them to get more money. And so this bill would simply say, fine, you can do the surveys, but let them be opt-in with parents. I think that's only fair, and I think that in closing, that what you should try to do is do real scientific surveys if you want to know this stuff. Not these kinds of unscientific things concocted by special interest groups. So, thank you very much.
Any questions, Representative Buick?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wonder if the gentleman is representing here.
I'm representing a group called National Resistance for Parents, a group which has been around for 20 years. I am the author of the Parental Notification Law, Chapter 71, Section 32A, which was passed in 1996, and we've been working ever since on these kinds of issues.
Senator?
Mr. Chairman, I think you mentioned that you would do this, but I just want to make sure that, do you have a copy of that survey that you would leave with the committee staff?
Yeah, this is questions from the survey. I'll leave copies with thank you very much.
Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Representative Garland, Vice Chair